In this video, I'm going to be going through how I created this website on Elementor, and it's super easy for you guys to follow. All you guys have to do is just change in the text and changing your images to create this beautiful landing page for your service-based business. For this website, all we're going to be needing is the basic version of Elementor and Elements Kit. If you want to get the animated text like I've displayed on my website, then you can get Elementor Pro, but you're free to build this website without Elementor Pro and it will look just as nice. So let's get into this tutorial. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open a section, and we're going to open one with 2 columns. And we're going to click onto our section over here, and we're going to leave it in boxed, and we're going to give it a width of 13. I'm going to go to heights, and we're going to give it a minimum height, and we're going to change the pixel to 735. Perfect. So now we have this, and what we're going to also do is change our background color. So we're going to give it a gradient background. The first one we're going to choose this one here. So we're going to go with white, and then with here we're going to go with this one here. Perfect. No problem. That's perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in our image over here on the right. So we're going to click on image, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to add in this image over here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here, and we're going to add in our text. So I'm going to type up animated headline. So firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to click onto shape. We're going to go on to underline, and now we're going to copy in our text that we're going to put in. So we're going to go over here, going to copy and paste that. I'm going to go back here. Perfect. So the word we want to highlight is, let me see back here which one it was, is potential. So we're going to go over here, remove that one, and we're going to go to personalize, potential, put into highlight the text, and then everything after potential, I'm going to copy and remove it from here, and then we're going to go to after text. I'm going to put all that and remove potential. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to align this to the left side, and we're going to go to style, and we're going to edit the headline first, and then we can go back to the shape. So first we're going to change the text color to black. Here we go. And we're going to go to our text, and we're going to change the font family to Poppins. I'm going to give it a width 700 bold, and we're going to give this a size of 70. Now we're going to go to our animated text, and we're going to color it black as well. I'm going to change the font to Poppins. Weight 700 bold, and perfect. Let's see how that looks now. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over back to our shape. I'm going to color this in main one. So this is our main color that we're using. And for our width, we're going to give it a width of 12. And notice how it keeps on coming in and leaving out. I don't like that. I want it to come in once and just stay like that. So I'm going to go back to content, and I'm going to go down to the settings over here, and infinite loop. We're just going to uncheck that. And then it only see here, it stays once. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in a little description underneath our title. So we're going to go back to add elements, and we're going to go to text editor, and we're going to copy in and now we're going to put it back in here. But now we need to edit our text and the colors and everything. So we're going to go back over here to style, color in black, give it a go to typography, Poppins, leave it at 400, and we're going to give it a size of 16. Now I don't like the way the gap is just a little bit too much, so we're just going to put it up a little bit more just with some simple margin changes. So we're gonna go over there and we're gonna go over and leave it at 5, -5. Much better. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in our buttons. So our get in contact button and our watch video button. So now we're gonna go back to our Elementor and we're gonna go over to add elements and we're gonna add in button. And we're gonna add in 2 buttons. And notice how they're on top of each other. We want them to be beside each other. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to this button over here and we're gonna go to advanced. We're gonna go over to width and we're gonna click on inline. And we're gonna do that as well with the one underneath. We're gonna go to advanced, we're gonna go to width, and we're gonna click on inline. Perfect. And at the one on the right, we wanna give this just a couple margin changes just because it's too close to each other. We wanna give it a bit of gap. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna click 25. Perfect. Now we need to start editing the actual style of the button. So we're gonna go over to our first one, and we're going to go to our content, and we're gonna click on, I think it was get in contact. Okay. So now we're gonna go to style, and we're gonna change the font. Firstly, we're gonna go to Poppins. We're gonna go 600 bold, give it a size of 15. I'm gonna go transform. I'm gonna leave an uppercase. Sorry. And now we're gonna go to color, and we're gonna click on a gradient color. I'm gonna click our main one. And we're gonna over here for the bottom, we're gonna click main 2. Main dark, it's called. Let's see how that looks now. Okay. But there's still a couple of changes we're going to make. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to give it a padding of 20 on all sides. Great. Now what we're going to do as well is we're going to, I want to give this a little bit of shadow as well, just a little bit. So we're going to click on box shadow. I'm going to give it a blur of 36. And a spread of 1. And let's see what we have now. But I want to change the color of the shadow from, it's right now is black. I want to change it to the color of our, like the main color of the website. So I'm going to go back to box shadow. I'm going to click on color, and we're going to put in on hex A. And we're going to click on, we're going to change the number here. So I'm just going to get the one from there. I'm going to click 54. 919 A6B. Now let's see how that looks. Perfect. So now we're going to do that to the other one. So we're basically going to do that to the one here on the right. So this time we're going to go to content. We're going to click on watch video. And what we're going to do is we're going to add an icon here. And we're going to click on play. I'm going to add in this one right here, and we're now going to go to style. I'm going to go to Poppins, 600, 16, and uppercase, just like the one we did on this time. Except for the background, we're going to click on a transparent background. So we're going to go all the way to the end, and we're going to go on text color. I'm going to color in main dark. Okay, but now I kind of want to add in a border over our button just so you can see it a little bit. So we're going to click on border. I'm going to go to solid. I'm going to go into color. I'm going to color this one in main dark also. And we're going to go to padding. I'm going to give it a padding of 20 on all sides. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to box shadows. Going to do the exact same thing with the color on the background. So same thing, we're going to go 54 919 A6B. And there we're going to give it a blur of 36. just like that. So now let's see how that looks. Perfect. But see the way this one is a little bit this one is just a little bit bigger here because we didn't add a border on this button. So we're just going to quickly do that as well. We're just going to add a border. So we're just going to go here. I'm just going to go solid, and we're going to color it in right here. Gonna go here. We're just trying to make this be more in line. I think we got it. I think those look in line. So that's basically our hero section completed. So before we go over to our new section, I'm just going to quickly go over back here to our text editor, and I'm just going to go over to advanced. I'm going to go to margins. I'm just going to give this a -20 just so that the buttons are a little bit closer to the text. So there, so that's perfect. So now we're going to go to our new section. We're going to add in a new section, and we're going to go and give this a width of 13 and a height of 181. So now we're going to go over to our column over here, and we're going to right click it, and we're going to add column, and we're going to add 4 of these. So now we're going to add in 1 more. And now we're going to go to background, and we're going to go to style, background, and we're going to add in my color. I'm going to add in main to dark. And also what we're going to do is we're going to go to add element, and we're going to go over to counter. So first thing we're going to do, I think we're going to start off with style, just so I can paste the style into all of these, and then we can put in the content after. So I'm going to color in the number white, and we're going to go to typography. We're going to go to Poppins, and we're going to leave it at 600 bold, and we're going to give this a size of 72. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to title, and we're going to give this color of white also. We're going to go to font. We're going to put this to Poppins. I'm going to give this a 600. I'm going to give this a size of 19. Perfect. So now we're going to copy this into all of these over here, and then we're going to start putting in the actual content into all of these. So that's all in. So the first thing we're going to put in is So the first thing we're going to put in is teaching approach. We're just going to go to content. I'm going to click on teaching approach. We're going to go over here, and we're going to put on 5 for the number here. Second thing we're going to put in is students tutored. And we're going to go over to 100 plus. And we're just going to put it in the plus symbol over here. And then you see that. And the third one we're going to put in is subjects specialization. Spelling, there we go. And for the number, we're going to put in 3 plus. And for the average grade improvement, we're going to put in 70%. We're going to go 70%. And that is that's that section done. So now we're going to add in a section, and we're going to give this section a width of 13 and a height of 400. So we're going to leave it normally. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in 2 columns right here. We're going to go over here. We're going to type in heading. But the first heading, we're just going to need the subtitle from this heading over here. So we're just going to remove the heading and remove the separator. And we're going to go to subtitle. I'm going to click on Why Choose Me. The text is okay. There we go. So we're going to go to Why Choose Me, and we're going to go over to Style, and we're going to go click on Subtitle. We're going to click on Black, and we're going to go over to, and we're going to click on Poppins. I'm going to go give it a 700 bold. I'm going to give it a font size of 12, like that. And now we're going to go back to content, and we're going to go back to subtitle, and we're going to click on show border outline. Now we're going to go over here and we're going to style the border outline. We're going to give it a color of, going to give it solid, and we're going to give a color of our main dark over here. I'm going to give it a width of 3. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in our actual heading. So we're going to go back to animated heading. Underneath here, click on align to be right. And now we're going to add in our text. So we're going to go over to benefits of our tutoring service. I'm going to copy that in here. And we are going to highlight tutoring, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So we're going to take tutoring, copy that, put it in here, remove that here, and then copy service, remove that, and we're going to put that after text. And we're going to go over to underline. And now we're going to go into style. I'm going to remove infinite loop. And now we're going to go to style. We're going to style in our underline first this time. Actually, we're going to go to main one. My color that I'm choosing for my website, we're going to put it on width for 12, and we're going to go to headline. We're going to change it to black, and we're going to go to typography. I'm going to click onto Poppins. We're going to give it 700 bold, and we're going to give it a size of 62. And now we're going to go over to our highlighted text. And you see, guys, there I messed up the thing over here. 1 second. Put that in there. Copy that. Remove that. And then put it in there. So there we go. So now we go back. Sorry about that. Just made a quick mistake. We're going to go over to animated text. We're going to go to Poppins 700. And there we go. Perfecto. So now we're going to go over here and we're going to add in a text editor. Gonna go right here. We're gonna give this first we're gonna actually copy the content of what we put in. Gonna copy in that, put it in here. Perfect. So now we're going to give this color of black. Gonna give it a size of 17. Gonna change the font family to Poppins. And there we go. And now we're gonna go to line height. I'm going to give it one of 30. 30. There we go. Now we're going to go over to here and we're going to go to margins, just because if you exit out there, I just want to put it more in line with each other. So I want to go down a little bit more. Or should I leave it like, let me just try it out. So let me put it in 20. Let me put the 20. Let me see if it looks better with 20 or without. I think we'll just leave it with 20. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in another section underneath here. This I'm going to add one with 3 columns. We are going to go over to our add in elements. We're going to go to icon box. We're going to give it a size there. So now we're going to get in the content from this place over here. I'm just going to put hardware graduate. Going to pick in a graduate hat. This one here, that's fine. So now we're going to go to style. So our icon style, we're going to change in the color. to main one. We're going to give this a size of 25. We're going to go to spacing. I want to give this 15. We're going to leave it at 15, and we're going to go to content. Color that in black. Color that in black. So now we're going to go to pop-ins. I'm going to put it to 700. I'm going to go down to, sorry. I'm going to leave that at 22. And for the spacing, I'm going to let that space out a little bit, leave it there at 8. And now if we go out, you can see the icon, everything is there perfectly. But if you go over to complete the website, you can see here we have a little background in our icon. So we're going to go over here, we're going to go to icons. We're going to go and we're going to click on stacked. And I want it to be square. So now that we have it square, we're going to go back to icon and we're just going to give it a radius of 9. And for the secondary color, which is the, okay, that's that one. So for the secondary color, we're going to give it the main one. And for this one, we're going to go and we're going to change the opacity a little bit, just to halfway there. And there we have it, perfect. But now I want to add in the little, like, see here we have a little box with the shadow, so I want to add that in here first. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back here, we're going to go to border. But before we go border, it will make more sense that we go over and we give these a couple margins. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go here, we're going to give it a padding of 25. Okay, so now we're going to go to border. Going to go to, but as you can see here, I don't like it's a bit too sharp and yeah, doesn't look the nicest. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here, and as you see, the blur mine goes a little bit wider out and not as sharp. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to blur, we're going to give this 36. And we're going to lighten down this darkness here. Just about there. So you guys see where I left it at. So if you guys want to get that clip over there, we left it just to about here. So this is how it looks. And now, last thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the radius and give it a radius of 9 as well. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add the exact same thing for all of these columns. But first what we're going to do is we're going to give this 13, 13. Perfect. So now we're going to copy and paste this into the two of these sections. And now we're just going to quickly go over the content. So this one here is 24/7 support. Put in the clock, and we're going to change the color for each. For this one, I'm going to go with the one I have as 2. Gonna go to 2 as well. Put down the opacity a little bit. There we go. Exact same with this one. So we're gonna go over here and we put in the same thing here. Gonna put this in as, put in a smiley face. I'm just putting in a random column. You guys could put this in as you guys wish. Just gonna put in a smiley face and just say happy customers. Proven strategy. Let me just put that one in. You guys, this is really just off the top of my head. You guys can obviously put in which ones you guys want. I'm just gonna put in this and just say proven strategy. So now before I actually say for now, I'm going to change in the colors. So for here, we're going to go main dark. main dark here too, and go down with the opacity, and now we have a look at it. So now this section is done, and we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, so now we're going to add in this section over here in our Elementor website. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add in a section. We're going to add in one with 2 columns. We're going to click onto our section. We're going to give it a width of 1313 and a height of 400. So perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in our heading, this one over here. So we're going to click on heading. Sorry, we're going to click on add element, and we're going to go over to heading, not the generic one, but the one that you get with Elementkits when you download the plugin. So we click on headings, and we're going to change in our heading to the text that over here, no limit to acing your scores with your location. So now we're going to remove the separator, and we're going to go to style. We're going to put it on black, and we're going to click onto Poppins. We're going to give it a size of 52, boldness of 700, and we're going to capitalize all of our text. So we're going to go to transform. I'm going to go uppercase. Great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in our text editor. So we're going to go down here. We're going to add in this text over here, copy, put that in, and we're going to go to style. I'm going to color this in black. I'm going to go to typography, going to go to Poppins. I'm going to leave the weight at 400, but we're going to go to size. I'm going to change this to 16. But now, as you can see, I definitely don't like how close this is together. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this section, and we are going to, it's 2 ways we could do, but let's see how it looks with this. See if we 550, not quite so, 600, just a little bit more, and let's see, 630. Let's see 630. That seems alright, but I just don't like my sections too close to each other. So give me 1 second until I find the perfect random number that will solve this issue. Perfect. Okay, so for the minimum height, we're just gonna leave that 716. Anyways, now we're gonna add in our image. So we're gonna go onto image. We're gonna put it here on the right, and we're gonna click onto the image that I've created. We're gonna add in this one here, and here you can see. So now what we're gonna also do is we're going to add in a background. So we're gonna go to style. We're gonna go to background over here, and we're gonna add in our image of this one here. So first we're going to go to background overlay. We're going to go over and we're going to put this on white, and for the opacity we're going to give this 0.87. Perfect. So now we're going to go back to background, and with image, with position, we're going to go to custom, and for the x-axis we're going to go to 230. Just gonna write this in 230, and for the Y we're gonna give this 6. That is perfect. And yeah, but the section is perfect. Of course, just the title here, gonna unlink that so the text editor and the title come in a little bit closer. And now what we're going to do is this over here. I don't like the bottom of that, so we're going to go over and we're going to give this a top of -55. So we're going to leave the top and we're going to give the bottom 55. And let's see how close it is there to the bottom. That looks fine, and the bottom looks, that one looks fine as well. So that is, should I release that? That looks about perfect. So that section is perfect. We're gonna go on to the next. And guys, if you guys have any issues with me almost freestyling some of the edits during the video, you just leave that down below in the comments. I could definitely change that and have everything set before I record. It's just sometimes when I am recording, some things just don't look right, and I want to fix it just so I make sure that you guys don't go into any issues when you're building your website. So I'm going to go on to the next section now. So now we're going to add in another section, which is very similar to this one, just a little couple of different changes. So now we're going to add in one with 2 columns, just the same way we did. We're going to give this a width of 1313 and a height of 400. So perfect. And the great thing with this section is, so basically we're adding in this one right here. And the great thing with this section is that most of the typings, the fonts, the text editors could be copied. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna duplicate these just because they're the exact same style, just different places. So we're gonna add in this one over here, down here. I'm gonna add in the text editor too. Perfect. And for this, we're gonna add in a subtitle just like here. So we're gonna copy in this one. I'm gonna put it on top of here. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to change in what the contents of this section. So we're going to go back to our site here. We're going to put in unlock extra resources in our subtitle. Okay, and for here we're going to put in, I'm going to copy that, put that in here. So we're going to go down here to title. And for here, we're just going to copy that in also. Okay. So now that we have that, we're going to add in our image here on the left. Going to go to add elements. I'm going to go to images. And I'm going to go to one of the images that I have saved in here. Put that in there. And we are going to now add in a corner just like the one we have here, just this little corner pattern here. So we're going to go into add elements. I'm going to add in another image on top of here. I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to give this a position of absolute, and we're going to give this a horizontal orientation of, I'm going to give this one 7, and we're going to give a vertical offset of -53. -153, sorry. And that doesn't quite do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it back here. Gonna go down. Can see a little bit more. This is freehand, so you guys can drag in with your hand, the mouse. Okay, now I don't like the way the gap here is just a bit too much. So what we're gonna do is gonna go back. There's 2 ways we could do this. We could go back here, and we're gonna do it this way. So we're gonna go over here, we're gonna go back, and we're gonna go margins. I'm gonna push this up. Or what we could do is just reduce our minimum height. I'm gonna push this up a little bit. And I'm gonna leave it at 40. I'm pretty sure 40 should do it. Yeah, 40 does it perfectly. So we're gonna leave it at 40, and we're gonna leave our box height just the way it is. And let me just show you the final settings we came up for this image here. So we left it as horizontal orientation, the offset we left at 18, and for the vertical orientation we left at 31. So that is this section completed. As you can see here, that's it right here, and that's it over here. So that is this section completed. So now we're gonna go over to our next section. Sorry. So now we're gonna be making this section here. So we're gonna go back to our website in Elementor, and we're gonna go down, and we're gonna add in a section. I'm going to give this a width of 13, and now we're going to go to add, and we're going to add in an intersection. I'm going to remove one of these columns, and then this one here, we're going to give this a width of 13 also, and a height of 284. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in our heading. gonna add in this one here. And we're gonna put in our text. We're gonna put in this one here. Sorry, wrong page. We're gonna go here. Copy that in. Remove our separator. And we're gonna change the style. So we're gonna go to white for the color. And we're gonna go to Poppins. Give it a size of 52. 700 bold. And transform into uppercase. And now I don't like how this is too wide and just too close to the edge, and yeah, just looks messy. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to this width, and we're going to, well, we can freehand it, but we're going to go over here for viewers purposes. I'm going to go to width. I'm going to go to custom. I'm going to put this at 55.736. And now for this one is a bit too close here, so we're going to go to title, and for margins we're going to unlink all of that. And what we're going to do is we're going to top 19, and for the left we're going to give it 20. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to content. We're going to add in title description. We're going to click that, and then we're going to go over here, just copy that in, copy, and we paste, and we style. So we're going to go to title description. We're going to color in white. We're going to go to Poppins, 16, 400 normal, and now we're going to go to here. We're going to give it bottom of 10, left 24. Perfecto. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in our button. We're going to add in a button like this one over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here. We're going to copy. We're going to copy any of that in. We're going to paste it here. Fine. We're going to go over to advanced, and we're going to go to default with widths. I'm going to change the colors. So the text, so we leave that for the background. We're going to go over to white. I'm going to see how that looks. But we're going to change the actual text. We're just going to click on book consultation. Going to remove the icon. Okay, perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here. We're going to click in our intersection. And we're going to go over to border. I'm going to give this a radius of 9. And we're going to give this a little bit of box shadow. So first we're going to go over, just tone the opacity just a little bit. And we're going to give this a blur of not 36. I'm going to give it a blur of 30. Perfect. And we're going to, let me just show you how low I took it. So we're going to leave it just a little bit lower. So we're going to leave it around here just so you guys can see where you guys should be aiming to put in the color for the box shadow. So now what we're going to do is, I don't like how there's such a little gap underneath there. So I'm going to go over to intersection again, and we're going to go to advanced, and we're going to go to bottom. So we're going to go to padding, and the bottom we're going to give that 15. And that is perfect. So now we're going to go and we're going to click on our intersection. We're still here. We're going to go to style. We're going to go to background, and we're going to add in our image here. We're going to add in this one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to background overlay. Click on there. We're going to leave it at 0.5. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back to background, and we're going to go to position, and we're going to go to custom. And for this one, we're going to give it -29. And for Y position, we're going to give it 630. And we're going to go over here to the space side. I'm going to click on cover. Perfect. But I don't like how the opacity it shows a little bit just too much. So we're going to go back. We're going to tone it down. So we're going to tone it up. give it a color of our main deck. And let's see how that one looks. Perfect. So that's this section done. Let's see, wait 1 second. Making sure it's perfect. Not showing too much. Yeah, I think this one will be fine. So let me just show you the one that we ended up with. So we ended up with 0.6. So that is that section done anyways. So now we're going to be adding in this section over here. So we'll go back to Elementor. We're going to add a section. And we are going to add in our animated heading. And we're going to copy what this says here, what our students have achieved. Copy that in here. And the word we want to highlight is students. So we're going to go down here. We're going to go to highlight the text. We're going to go students. We're going to remove students, and we're going to remove have achieved and put that to after text, just like that. And then we're going to go over here. I'm going to go to curly this time. And we're going to start off with that curly one. We're going to go to main color. And we're still going to give it a width of 12. And we're now going to go to headline. We're going to change the color to black. I'm going to give it a size of 62. I'm going to go to Poppins. And we're going to give it a weight of 700 bold. And we're going to do likewise with our animated text. So we're going to color it in black if I can find it. I'm going to go over here. We're going to go to Poppins. And we're going to go give it a weight of 700 also. Great. So now what we want to add in is our subtitle. So we're going to go over here and we're going to click onto heading, click onto the middle, words of success, words of success. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here. That looks very odd. 1 second. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to go back to black. We're going to go over here. We're going to go to Poppins. Yeah. Going to go over to Poppins. 13, 700. And now we're going to push that up to 35, just like that. And now we're going to add in our testimonial. So we're going to click onto here. We're going to go to sections. We're going to go to categories. We're going to click on testimonials. And I'm going to add in this one here, right there. And we're going to remove this as we already have a heading. And now what we're going to do is we're going to remove this. And we're going to remove this section here. So now we're going to click onto our testimonial. We're going to click onto this one's here. The one right here in the middle. I'm going to choose this one. Of course, you can choose whichever one you please. I'm going to choose slice to show. We're going to go up with 3. Not 4. 3. Okay, so now we're going to go to edit testimonials. We're going to go for our first color. We're going to change it in the gradient color. Perfect. But firstly, I think I will handle this one here first. So we're going to move this section down. Sorry, I'm going to put that there. And we're going to put this one here. If I can find it, I can grab it. Oh, you have it right there. This way, like, oh God. Okay, so now that we removed that, we're going to click off that. And we are going to see how it looks right now. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click onto our testimonials and we're going to change the typography. So we're going to go over here. We're going to change it to Poppins. Give it a weight of 400. Size of 17. Great. And now we're going to change these ones over here for the titles of the names. So we're going to go to client. Change this to Poppins. Put it down to 20. And that is perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to give this a width of 1313. But see what happens when I do that, when I give it a width of 1313. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to click onto this section up here, the first one up here, and we're going to go to shape divider. I'm going to give the top, and we're going to go to wave, and we're just going to leave it just like the way, just default like that. Now this is obviously way too close up there, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to this section, and we're going to give it a top margin of another 85. And voila, that is our last section done, the testimonial section in our website. What I'm going to do as well, you don't have to, but what I'm going to do is go back over here to testimonials. I'm going to click on these and I'm going to remove their job titles. It's very small and I'm just want to do it. But yeah, I'm just going to remove in our job titles. So that is the tutorial completed. Thank you guys all for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and comment and subscribe if you guys have any questions about this website design.